Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salaylo Makwidiri. Hope you are warm. And thank you so much for making us your companion this morning as we reflect on some of the most important issues that as South Africans, and I think as the globe entirely need to be grappling with. We're going to be looking a bit more inwards. We'll be looking at South Africa's social grant system, which is undergoing pressure as more and more people rely on government support to get through difficult economic times. I mentioned earlier that the statistics, unemployment stats were released yesterday, and the peak picture there is quite bleak. And I think it tells us one thing and one thing only, that the services of SASSA are going to be required now more than ever. And yeah, they at SASSA, well, they're continuing to review grants, trying to make sure that they're reaching people who genuinely qualify and who genuinely need them the most. And we're going to be having a conversation with them. We're speaking to Lungelo Mkamba, Senior Manager for Communications and Marketing for SASSA here in Gauteng, just to get more insight on this grant reviews because they're very, very important. We're getting messages. People are saying, well, SASSA, stop paying my grant. What do I need to do? What kind of necessary paperwork is needed for a review and all of that. So we're going to be trying to answer some of those questions with Lungelo Mkamba, who's trading us via our virtual platform. Lungelo, great to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Good morning to you and all the listeners of Salam Media. And I also just want to extend a happy Women's Month to all your female employees and all your listeners as well.
Well, thank you on their behalf. I want to start with the basics. I want to jump right into it. Grant reviews. We had a conversation previously, you and I, but it looks like it's still dominating the headlines. From SASSA's point of view, let's start unpacking it once again. How necessary are these grant reviews, and what exactly is SASSA looking for when a beneficiary is being reviewed?
Well, put simply, the purpose of the review is to ensure that only eligible beneficiaries continue to receive assistance from us at SASSA. It is not something that is being done to punish or to remove or to frustrate the grant from deserving beneficiary, but rather it's a mechanism that we have put in place just to confirm that beneficiaries continue to meet the qualifying criteria as it is required by law. And I just want to maybe give an example. At the time that you apply for a grant, maybe last year, there are chances that you could have been unemployed, you were single, your medical condition was different, but maybe 2 years later, your personal as well as your financial circumstances could have changed. You are now employed or you are married, and there is a combined income between yourself as the SASSA beneficiary as well as your spouse. So when we do the review, we basically check, do you still qualify with the same information that you gave us 2 years ago? So we do not cancel or suspend the grant immediately. We are now working with stakeholders such as the financial institutions, your credit bureaus, your SARS, and where we detect that there is potential extra income that you are receiving, we then invite you to come for a review and just explain to us and bring your supporting documents so that we can check whether you still qualify. If you do not qualify, unfortunately, then we have to cancel that grant and make sure that it only goes to those who genuinely qualify and definitely need it.
The question around the amount of money that gets into your bank account, it's often one that's quoted quite a lot. People quite unsure about how that system works. For me to continue receiving my grant, do I am I not supposed to have any kind of money getting into my account, whether it's from friends, family, or I don't know, whatever means? And is there a threshold of just how much can I have or receive in my bank account over a period of months or days? Can we maybe just unpack on that, because it's still quite confusing for some of our listeners?
Absolutely. And as SASSA, I can assure you, we will not suspend or cancel your grant because you have received maybe a once or twice of a gift that is not a extra income. Where we want to see is if you are receiving income. Are you employed, or are you running a business or a side hustle that maybe you have not declared to us? That is where, or we define it as income. So if you are employed or you are running a business, but we understand that it can be your birthday, or a friend maybe when you are struggling in need can assist you with an amount of money that is sent to your bank account. We will not suspend or cancel that grant. And yes, there are thresholds for single as well as married applicants, my brother. For example, for our older persons grants, as well as the disability grants and the war veterans grants, if you are a single beneficiary, you must not own assets that are worth more than about 1.5 million rand. And if you are married, the combined assets must not be more than about just shy over 3 million rand. And in terms of the income, for example, for a disability grant, if you are single and you are applying for a disability grant, your annual income must not exceed about 107,000 rand. And if you are married and you have a spouse, the combined income annually must not exceed about 215,000 rand. We do share this information regularly on our social media as well as our website, and we do have a call center number and offices. So we encourage beneficiaries, if maybe they just want to double check the thresholds, they are more than welcome to utilize some of those channels just to make sure that they are still within the thresholds, they still qualify, and where they have exceeded, they have to come forward and be honest and let us know.
But then what if someone says, well, my financial circumstances, have changed, because we know it can change from month to month. How does SASSA then determine whether someone still qualifies for a grant, when that is the case, when financial circumstances seem to have taken a turn from one month to the other?
I think it would depend, my brother, on each person's unique circumstances. And that is particularly why we are doing these reviews on a monthly basis. So we don't do it once off. Where we detect that there is potential income, maybe for August, we see that there is potential income, we will invite you for a review to just come and explain. We notice there is an X amount of money that you have received. If you can prove to us that, no, this was a gift from a relative, and you show us the supporting documents, then we continue to pay you. But where you genuinely show us that maybe you had a 1-month contract or a project for a business that you were running, and you have exceeded the threshold for that month, and you were honest with us, we will do the review, we will do the assessment, and we will be guided by our laws as well as our internal policies. And where you genuinely still qualify, we will definitely not punish you. I can assure you of that.
Yeah, I think that's very, very important to note, because people are feeling jittery. Hey, I want to come to what some of the beneficiaries, your beneficiaries, that have contacted us, are saying. People are saying they are receiving messages asking them to update information or to verify their details. Is there a way to distinguish between legitimate communication that comes from SASSA or from some of the scams that we've been seeing during the rounds, particularly targeting recipients of the elderly grant in particular?
We have also seen with great concern this particular year, especially on social media, there are a lot of scammers that are trying to target our beneficiaries, particularly our senior citizens, because they are vulnerable. And we just want to say there are a few instances. If you look at the branding, if you go to our social media pages, you can see how we do our posters and our branding and how our logos are placed. Most of the AI generated logos, if you look at first glance, you can just see that this is not done by government and it is probably a scam. Secondly, we also have a toll-free number, which is 0800 60 10 11. It's 0800 60 10 11. And if the information that you see sounds too good to be true, for example, maybe you are being informed that if you pay a certain amount of money, you will receive a grocery or you will receive a voucher. Just take it with a pinch of salt and maybe verify it with us as SASSA first, just by calling our call center number to make sure that this information is genuinely coming from us so you do not fall victim to a potential scam.
Very, very important to note. There's been another concern with regards to delays when it comes to applications and appeals. If someone, believes that their grant was wrongly stopped, how long should they expect the process to take until they are contacted and be told that you're all good, you're all fine, and you should be receiving your grant as soon as possible?
Yes, absolutely. It's a very fair question. We do indicate to our beneficiaries if they are unhappy with any decision that we make. First and foremost, when you apply for a grant, you undergo the full process and you are then given an outcome letter. The outcome letter will indicate whether your grant has been approved and when you can expect to receive the first payment. If your grant has been declined, the outcome letter will also indicate in the appeal process that you can do. There is a national tribunal that adjudicates appeals. So you do have a legal right within 90 days from receiving the outcome from SASSA. You can submit an appeal within 90 days. It will be adjudicated by the tribunal. They may ask for extra supporting documents from you, and they may also ask for supporting documents from us as SASSA. But I can't put a time frame because each appeal would have its own unique facts and its own merits. But we always explain to our beneficiaries that if you are unhappy with our decision, you have a legal right to submit an appeal within 90 days, and then the tribunal will inform you of the outcome.
How, Lungelo? You're asking people to take you to court.
It's their legal right to do so. We have a responsibility to be honest and transparent as SASSA.
There we go. Lungelo Mkamba, Senior Manager for Communications and Marketing for SASSA in Gauteng. Thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. And please stay warm and be safe.
There we go. And that's where we're going to leave that conversation. When we come back, we'll be turning attention to Zambia on our #Africa Focus feature, where the cost of living is emerging as a major issue ahead of the country's elections. If you don't know, well, now you know. They're going to the polls tomorrow. We'll be looking at that after this short break.
We will